Before this year ends, you're going to need to remind yourself who you really are. Not who the world labeled you, not who your fear says you are in the middle of the night, but who God sees when no one else is watching. This isn't just motivation. This is survival. This is war against forgetting. Most people think the battle is out there, in their job, in their money, in their timeline. But the real battle, it's in here. It's in what you tell yourself when no one else is around. And if this year has worn you down, if God feels silent, if your prayers feel unanswered, if your hope feels paper thin, then this moment, right now, C.S. Lewis once said, "We are not necessarily doubting that God will do the best for us. We are wondering how painful the best will turn out to be." That sits not doubt. That sits real faith. Faith that limps. Faith that still shows up. Faith that whispers, "God, I don't understand, but I still trust you." So I want to give you 9 truths to carry. 9 things to speak over your life every single day before 2025 ends. Not hype, not cliches, but soul anchors. Speak them when the anxiety is loud. Speak them when no one else sees your fight. Speak them until your spirit starts to believe them again. Let's begin. These are: Number 1, I am not made for comfort. I am made for glory. Comfort will lie to you. It'll tell you, stay safe. Play small. Don't risk being seen. Don't believe too hard. It might not happen. But comfort is not your calling. You were not born to be hidden forever. You were not designed to just survive another year. There is a weight on your life, a glory. And glory never comes cheap. C.S. Lewis once said, "If you want a religion to make you feel really comfortable, I certainly don't recommend Christianity. Because real faith will cost you. It will break you open. It will confront your pride. It will burn away your idols. But it will also build you, shape you, and call you into something eternal." So when life feels hard, don't rush to escape it. Ask yourself, what is God birthing in me through this pressure? Because maybe the discomfort isn't punishment. Maybe it's preparation. You are not made for ease. You are made for weight, for meaning, for glory. Every tear you've cried in silence. You are not fragile. You are chosen. You are being refined. Tell yourself this every day, and then live like it. And 2, God is doing 10,000 things I cannot see. Just because you can't see it, doesn't mean nothing's happening. Some of God's greatest work is done in silence. In places you don't have access to, yet, right now, this very second, God is orchestrating things behind your back that will one day bring you to your knees in awe. The people, the timing, the doors, the healing. You don't see it, but it's real. You don't feel it, but it's happening. C.S. Lewis once said, "God is not hurried, because he is timeless. And when we are still, truly still, we may start to notice he is moving." It's not your job to understand it. It's your job to trust it. Think about it. When the seed is in the soil, it looks like death. But in heaven's timeline, that moment is called beginning. So if this season feels buried, if it feels like nothing is breaking open, don't panic. There are miracles in motion that don't need your permission to unfold. God is doing 10,000 things you cannot see. And one day, you soul look back and whisper, "Now I understand." But until then, walk like it's already working. Pray like it's already shifting. Thank Him like it's already done. Tell yourself this every day. God is doing 1,0,0,0,0 things I cannot see. And then rest like it's true. 3. Obedience is greater than momentum. The world says, keep going, move faster, build more, never stop. But heaven doesn't honor hustle. Heaven honors obedience. And sometimes obedience means pausing. Sometimes it means walking away. Sometimes it means staying in a place you no longer understand. Momentum feels powerful, but obedience is sacred. Momentum is loud, but obedience whispers, even if no one claps, it'll still follow. C.S. Lewis once said, "The longest way round is the shortest way home." And what he meant is this: God's path may feel slow, but it's never wasted. You can be doing everything right with the absence of God. Obedience isn't always rewarded right away. Sometimes obedience looks like failure to people who don't know what God told you in private. But your job is not to impress. It's to obey, because the reward isn't set speed. The reward is presence. Every act of obedience brings you deeper into the heart of God, even when it costs you momentum, even when it makes no sense. So stop measuring your life by how fast it's moving. Start measuring it by how close you are to Him. Tell yourself this every day. Obedience is greater than momentum. And then follow, even if the path is slow. Thing 4. My identity is not my pain, my past, or my performance. You are not what happened to you. You are not what you failed to become. You are not the darkest thing you've survived. You are more than the trauma, more than the timeline, more than the pressure to be enough. You are a soul, not a resume. You are a child, not a product. You are known and still chosen. You don't have a soul, you are a soul. You have a body. This means your value isn't in what you do, it's in who you are, and even more than that. But the world will try to rename you. It will call you broken, call you behind, call you not enough. And if you're not careful, you'll start answering to those names. But heaven has a different name for you: beloved, redeemed, image bearer, unfinished, but sealed with purpose. You may carry scars, but your scars don't define you. They remind you you survived. You may have memories that ache. They are just part of the soil you were planted in, not the fruit God is growing in you now. So when shame rises up, when your performance doesn't match your expectations, speak this over your soul: not my past, and not my performance. My identity is rooted in love, in a God who never changes His mind about me. Waiting feels like nothing, like stillness, like everyone else is being chosen and you're being overlooked. Like heaven paused and didn't tell you why. But the truth is, waiting is never empty when it's in God's hands. C.S. Lewis once said, "I am sure God keeps no one waiting unless He sees that it is good for him to wait." And he was right, because waiting reveals things rushing never will. In the waiting, He removes the illusion that you're in control. Waiting makes space for trust. Waiting prepares you for what you prayed for, so that when it comes, you don't self-sabotage it. Think about it. The cocoon looks like death to the caterpillar, but to heaven, it's just transformation in progress. So when your timeline feels stuck, when doors don't open, when prayers echo back in silence, don't assume the worst. Assume the deep. Assume God is building something in the dark that couldn't be built in the spotlight. No delay in God's will is random. No pause is pointless. No waiting season is wasted. Because God never presses pause. He presses prepare. So tell yourself this every day. Even my waiting is not wasted. And then wait like something sacred is happening beneath the surface. Number 6. This world is not my home, and that's why I ache. There's a kind of loneliness that no friendship can fix. A kind of hunger that no success can satisfy. You can have the job, the relationship, the answered prayer, and still feel like something is missing. That's eternity whispering to you. C.S. Lewis said, "If I find in myself desires which nothing in this world can satisfy, the only logical explanation is that I was made for another world. You were made for more. Not more stuff. More glory. More presence. More of God. And until you see Him face to face, there will always be an ache in you that nothing here can quiet. That ache is holy. It's not a flaw. It's a compass. It keeps you longing for heaven, not just as a destination, but as your true identity. So when life feels incomplete, when joy leaks out faster than you can refill it, when peace feels borrowed and short-lived, don't panic. And don't numb it. Let the ache teach you how to long for what's real. Let it strip you of illusions. Let it draw you deeper into the eternal. This world is not your home. That's why you ache. But one day, every tear will make sense. So tell yourself this every day, and let that ache keep your heart facing heaven. 7. I will think deeply, live wisely, and love fully. You weren't made to skim the surface of life. You were made to feel deeply, to wrestle with truth, to ask hard questions, and to live with holy fire. We live in a shallow world. Fast answers, short attention. No wonder so many feel empty. But your soul was not made for noise. It was made for depth. C.S. Lewis lived with that kind of depth. He said, "But you can start where you are and change the ending. And to change the ending, you have to start thinking beyond the moment, beyond emotion, beyond fear. Wisdom doesn't come from speed. It comes from stillness. From asking, what story am I really writing with my life? And love, real love, isn't something you stumble into. It's something you choose, every day, fully, even when it hurts. So before this year ends, decide who you want to be. Not just what you want to have, not just what you want to fix, but who you want to become. Because becoming doesn't happen by accident. It takes thought. It takes wisdom. Tell yourself this every day. I will think deeply, live wisely, and love fully. And then live like your life actually matters, because it does. And 8. God is not done with me, even when I am done with me. You ever feel like giving up on yourself? Like you've tried, and tried again, and now you're just tired? Not the fall, not the failure. It's the voice that comes after, the one that says, maybe this is just who I am. Maybe I'll never get it right. Maybe I've missed my moment. But those are not God's words. Because even when you're finished with yourself, C.S. Lewis wrote, "Failures are fingerposts on the road to achievement. And in God's hands, even your collapse can be the foundation for your comeback." He is the author, and he finishes what he starts. Even if you scribbled all over the pages, even if you walked off the path, even if you gave up hope mid-sentence, he never puts the pen down. Still being formed, still being called. So when the enemy whispers, "You're done," remember, he doesn't hold the pen. God does. And he writes in resurrection ink. So even on your lowest day, even when you don't feel spiritual, even when you can't lift your own head, tell yourself this: God is not done with me, even when I am done with me. Keep walking. Keep turning your heart toward home. Lastly, joy is not optional. It's a defiant act of faith. Joy isn't just a feeling. It's a decision, a weapon, a rebellion against despair. You don't wait for joy, even when nothing makes sense, even when your heart is tired. Joy doesn't mean you're in denial. It means you're in alignment with truth, with eternity, with the God who already wrote the ending and called it good. C.S. Lewis said, "Joy is the serious business of heaven, because heaven isn't solemn, it's alive. And every time you choose joy down here." And that is spiritual warfare. Because darkness wants you miserable, wants you numb, wants you walking through life with your head down and your heart closed. But when you smile, when you worship through tears, when you thank God before the breakthrough, you are declaring, "I still believe. I still have hope. I still know who wins." So no, joy isn't optional. It's not for the perfect. It's for the ones who refuse to die inside while they're still breathing. Tell yourself this every day. Joy is not optional. It's a defiant act of faith. And then live like hope still has the final word. If you've made it this far, you're not content to coast. You're not okay with forgetting who you are. And that's holy. Because in a world that numbs, rushes and forgets, you chose to pause, to remember, to speak truth to your soul. So here's my encouragement. Don't let this be the last time. These 9 truths, they weren't meant for one listen. They were meant to become a rhythm, a habit, a voice inside you that grows louder than fear. Write them down. Pray them over yourself. Speak them out loud when doubt creeps in, and share them with someone who needs it. Now here's the challenge. Don't just feel this, live it. This world needs people who live anchored. People who walk into the chaos with peace in their eyes and fire in their bones. Be that person. Not because it's easy, but because it's who you were made to be. The year isn't over yet, but who you're becoming in this season might just shape the rest of your life. So rise, remember who you are, and walk it out. Day by day, truth by truth, word by word. If this spoke to you, don't just keep it to yourself. Subscribe, so these truths can keep finding you. Share this with someone who's in the waiting. And drop a comment with the one truth you're holding on to today. Let's fill this space with faith, and with people who still believe that God is not finished. We're in this together, and the best part? He writes the last word, not the world.